this lens is just not for me. This is something that I think will appeal to a wide array of photographers, but because it sits outside of the content that I shoot with my GFX solution, I'll be quite frank, I'm not going to be doing a final review of this lens in the future. But I'm hoping that I can provide a good amount of context, again, using this in a ton of different environments, to those of you that are interested in this product, whether it's now or in the future. So with all of that noise out of the way, let's just talk about this damn lens.
But God might be on vacation, and the promised land ain't never promised. My baby telling me to be patient, but the devil always working overnight, my darling.
Good morning everyone, Gadget here. Welcome back to the channel. Let me tell you right now, I am exhausted. I'm exhausted. It's been a crazy week because I got to get briefed on new cameras, new lenses, first world problems. I know. But I had to get this out to you guys as soon as possible because after watching that Fuji event, I'm sure most of you might be wondering, how do these tools work in the field? The English, I'm telling you, it's my first language, but sometimes, oof. The 35-70 F4.5-5.6 lens, it is super unique. It has this twist to open mechanism that keeps a slim profile when you're traveling or putting it in your bag. It reminds me of a push pop, and this thing gives you the equivalent focal range when we're talking full frame of 28 to 55. So it's really covering those ranges that appeal to street photographers, journalists, and travelers. The aperture range translates to 3.6 to 4.4. So if you're looking at that, I mean, that's something that's quite usable in the daytime, quite usable for architecture, for travel, landscapes, and even some outdoor events. A lens, again, that's something that adds a bit more to the GF line of lenses because you have something that is similar to the 50 in that it keeps your profile quite slim and sneaky. I don't know why I said that. Now, when you compound this slim profile to the fact that this lens is, just under 400 grams, you have something here that, well, here's the thing, I gotta be delicate here. Yes, you can take it with you everywhere. You can take it into the streets, but at least in my opinion, a GFX, still a pretty big solution to be carrying around all day. However, if you are passionate, enthusiastic, and you're gonna be in a location that you might not find yourself in another long time, traveling, landscapes, exotic situations, well, it's great to have, where you have a good amount of versatility because of the focal range, the ability to capture something, and it's not crazy heavy. If you look at something like the 80mm 1.7 or the 110 f2, massive lenses, crazy heavy, these are not things that I'd be carrying around for a whole day. And on that note, quick poll here, hands up if you're using a GFX as a street photographer or just carrying this thing around all day. I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments if you're one of those people. I'm not gonna judge, I just wanna know. I just wanna take, a quick straw poll here. You let me know. An important thing to consider about this lens, it does not have the aperture ring. I was told by Fujifilm that they removed this to, again, keep that size as slim as possible. You still get the weather sealing, but the aperture ring is gonzo. So you're gonna have to use one of the command dials on your GFX camera to control the aperture. What was also interesting about this lens, that it was pretty decent at video capture and the focus breathing was quite minimal. So if you are actually looking to shoot video on the GFX, it sounds quite crazy when I say it out loud. I still haven't come to terms with people that are getting a GFX to capture video. But if you are one of those people, you'll be happy to know minimal focus breathing on this lens. Now, what's more fascinating to me about this lens is that when you take this in conjunction with the introduction of the GFX 100S earlier this year and the just announced 50S2, well, you see that Fujifilm is aggressively looking to broaden their offerings and lower that barrier to entry. In that, theoretically, you can get into a professional imaging solution as low as $5,000 for a body and a lens, around there. Now, that is not feasible for most customers, and it'd be foolish for someone to go and tout that. However, if you are a professional and you have an existing solution and you've seen success in your profession, maybe you're doing product photography at home, maybe you're capturing fancy sneakers for resale and making cake, making bank and you're looking at getting something that will really bring brevity to your offerings. Maybe you want to be able to offer high resolution images to your clients. Maybe you have the opportunity to shoot for magazines, for billboards, and you want more fidelity, more image quality, more bit depth. Well, when you look at all of these factors that might make this ecosystem enticing, this is a great offering. This is a great way to get started. And I love the fact that the lens itself doesn't make very many concessions. For that creator that is, again, looking to just inch and crawl forward little by little and has the opportunity, has the access, well, the 35-70 is a compelling lens. Don't get me wrong. Don't let me dissuade you. When it comes back to the images that I create and the environments I find myself in, I'm not holding this camera for very long. You know, I'm taking a few pictures, putting it down, and then, you know, people are swapping outfits and we're moving on to the next look. So in those environments, I'm okay with big, burly, heavy prime lenses. However, if you're someone that's a bit more dynamic, faster turnaround, it's gonna be holding the camera for a good amount of time, traveling with this thing, the 35-70 is a fantastic lens. I didn't see any major flaws. And keep in mind, this is a pre-production model, so I'm not doing a full review of this thing, but I'll tell you right now, in my experience across varying conditions, I was very, very impressed with what this lens could do. So there it is, this mid-range zoom lens that gives you versatility in the field, gives you options in the field, that packs down like a push pop into a very slim offering to fit in your bag, to carry around, something that's not crazy heavy, but fantastic image quality. Something that I think might be maybe tough to get your hands on if you slip up. The pre-orders are up now, and this one is supposed to ship as a kit with the 50S2 first, and you're looking at sometime late October for that availability. If you want to buy this lens by itself, I've been told that it will be available late November. So whatever the case may be, with everything that's going on in the world, I think if you really want this thing, if you've been waiting for it, pre-order now. Don't wait. I think it's going to be tough to find more of these lenses as the months go on. As always, my name's Gadgen. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.